Hi, my name's Charles. I'm recording this for the Global Music Awards because a music video that I produced several years ago just won a bronze medal. So thank you very much, Global Music Awards. And Global Music Awards has asked to have me post a social media video telling you a little bit about myself. I've got quite a long history making photography, film. My first film was about the stoning of Christ at Gethsemane. That was shot on 8mm. It was kind of awkward because we recorded the sounds separately and tried to sync them, and that almost never seemed to work when we tried playing it back. From there, in junior high school, even in grade school, I was allowed to go from classroom to classroom and be the projectionist for films that were going to be shown in the elementary school I attended. In junior high school, I didn't do so much of that there. The technology was changing at that point, and I was really more fascinated with science. In high school, I started in radio and was also part of an audio video team that we had to preview all of the films that came into the school. We had access to student film catalogs from all over the world. It was, if you like watching films, just amazing pieces of work from all over the country: Romania, Russia, Italy, Canada, Japan, Mexico, on and on and on. Just an incredible. And Mrs. Graham, it was so wonderful. Wish you were still with us. She basically just said, order what you want, and we would look through the catalogs and bring stuff in. And one of the amazing films that came through was a film about Tesla, and as I recall, Mark Twain was in this piece also, and he was shown holding a ball of light in his hands. And so that was in one high school I attended. In another, I started in broadcasting and radio, and was part of a small effort to recreate the card game that took place in the movie The Sting. Took acting classes there. That was very interesting because we were sort of hypnotized into the personality that we were going to portray. And in junior high school, backing up for a moment, I played Gandalf in The Hobbit. I was later on a stage manager for a play called The Hillbilly Wedding. And then in college, I started off with studies in chemistry, which really sort of didn't fit the mindset. It did and it didn't. And that was in 1992. I then moved from that into radio and broadcasting, journalism and mass media studies, and finished that with a 3.2 grade point average. I had been I was tasked with going out, for example, by the professor and photographing monuments around the community. That was in Jacksonville, Florida. And then after that, this was a great professor. This professor sat on the 17-member commission that formed the Corporation for Public Broadcasting, which we all know as PBS. And I later attended and worked at the local PBS affiliate in Jacksonville, Florida. That's WJCT Channel 7. A really wonderful experience in a lot of ways because it's the sort of place you're allowed to do it all. And really enjoyed it for as long as I could. The commute became too expensive for me, and I ended up doing freelance television commercials for what was at that time AT&T Broadband Creative Services. That That company was then purchased, and they sort of purged everybody that was in the community that was important. They closed the office, and I was out of a job. And then after that, it was clear to me in 1995 that streaming video all the video was going to end up on the internet. So I started streaming video with the Real Player video system. And I'm so glad we're beyond that. That was very difficult to consistently, accurately program the various pieces of coded files that would make the whole system work. But from there, I started doing television commercials, freelance, and then after that I was building websites, and so it was part of my specialty that I could build you a website and we could put video on the website. At that time, that really wasn't, people weren't really sort of aware that it could be done. I can remember looking at my statistics, and companies like McDonald's came in and took a look at it. There were a number of big-time Fortune 500 companies that came and took a look at the videos that I had on my website, which was videofeedback.com. That still exists, although Luxoreum.com is now the new name of the .com, but I've kept the video feedback domain name since 1995. And then in 2007 I had a video go, I don't like to use the word viral. Viral implies sick. I don't think this was a sick piece of video at all. It may be viral because it was extraordinarily popular, and so the subject matter was strong. This was a quick documentary about computer vision, and I interviewed a number of students towards that end. And then when I told them it was done and had been uploaded to my website, 10 minutes later I got a phone call from the internet website host saying, we've got to move your website because it's getting hit with so many views, the server can't handle it. So they moved it to another server. So that was in 2007, and I was in Santa Fe, New Mexico at that point. In 2008, the economy tanked. I decided I would come home to my local familiar area of Corning, New York. My dad worked for Corning Incorporated. Mom was the president of the Corning Philharmonic for 35 years. Dad was Tech Products and Advanced Products Department sales manager. He sold the glass that went into outer space. I won an award with a project I did with the NASA Cinespace through Tongle, through the Houston Film Art Society. And this was about a phone call that we received at our house when John Glenn was in outer space. And then the next year after that, that would have been 2018. In 2019, I won a pitch for Sapporo beer ad. That actually didn't get produced. And then just recently I've had two successes right in a row. A local gospel keyboard player allowed me to do a conversation with him. It's called A Wonderful Conversation with Bucky Jeter. I thoroughly enjoyed working with this individual. Very open, permissive, and we've had a great time. We've become great friends making this video. And then just in the last couple of days, I almost didn't see this in my email. I won an award for the production of the piece that has prompted me to provide you with this biographical YouTube social media video, and that is called Leaves You Sitting There. This is a rock ballad by a local classic rock band called Dakota. They were very popular here in the Corning area during the 60s, late 60s, early 70s, and it was sort of the thing to do during our high school dances to see this band. And so in 2013 they gathered here for a reunion. I really wanted the opportunity, and so made a lot of recordings, I like to run several cameras so that I have plenty of A and B roll, and just sort of on a lark kept with it and decided I would send it into the Global Music Awards, and I had completely forgotten that I had even sent it in to them until I got the email notification, and so the Bucky Jeter Wonderful Conversation won Best Music, Best Documentary, and Best Audio, and then this piece for the Dakota rock band leaves you sitting there. So that brings you up to date about me. It's nice to tell you this. I would just add to it, I podcast on QSkyRadio.com on Saturday mornings, classical music and trivia that I find around the internet, and I hope you tune in. And thanks very much for your time, and I look forward to bringing you more fun content as I go forward into the future. It's already in progress.